On the PSH podcast number 4, the podcast where casual gamers come talk about not so casual topics. Today's topics are cyber-ish stuff like technology and
Theming thingies.
there you go. I'm your homie Jolly Dangerous. You can call me Jolly D or just plain old Jolly. I am here with Ren the Wicked,
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Ren the Wicked, aka Ren the Wicked.
Denonu,
What's going on, man? And how you guys doing?
chilling man, Bear,
Hey.
and Spectre.
Also known as the last horse who crosses the finish line.
There
I
you
second
go.
that.
So, what is the first topic that we have for today? Project mapping technology. Anybody have a link on or know a little bit about project mapping technology they want to talk about?
That's it sounds like a job for Denonu. Common denominator.
All right. I think it'll be pretty good eventually. I know starting out, it might not actually be how they want it. I see it more as a kid's toy kind of sort of thing, something to impress kids. But if they can actually make it to where you actually can do more things with it, have it go across the room, make it more interactive, make it a little bit visually better, then I can really see them actually doing something with it. I don't see it coming into the gaming mainstream though, with like other games and stuff like that. It's still too early for that to tell.
Right quick, project mapping, projection mapping.
I'm on it.
It's
I'm
similar
on it.
to.
I
If-
got this.
Okay, wait a minute.
do it.
Just,
Let me do it.
okay. Wait a minute. Before you describe that, I can just like give everybody a little example of what it is. In some major malls across America, they have those little projections that are maybe like glued to the ceiling, not glued, but you know what I mean, installed in the ceiling, and they project a little picture on the floor. Sometimes it's like maybe a little grid with fish in it that actually react to your shadows. So as like little kids walk on it, like the fish will move out the way because their shadows interacting with like the little light, and they'll have maybe balloons or some shit like that kids can kick. So other applications have been used in Microsoft for their new Action Room. I think is it Action Room or Active Room?
Room Alive, I think.
Room
by
Alive. There you
Microsoft.
go.
Yes.
Room Alive program where you can install projections around your room, and everything in your room will pretty much be the set for your video game. So, for instance, they had a character running from robots, and it would interact with your room. So it would run down the wall, but it would avoid things that weren't touching the light. So it would just like go over coffee tables and things like that. And there's another link in the description about a cake, a Disney themed cake that a projection was surrounding the cake. So you can see like little fucking princess and the horses run around the cake and everything like that.
It was Frozen theme. Pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's a waste of money to me. Just like
I think
Donatu
it's
said, I don't really
pretty
see
cool.
that. I don't really see that hitting mainstream anytime soon.
Yeah, I wouldn't eat the
Also,
video.
I
Definitely
did-
wouldn't eat the video.
You guys know Microsoft is also working the same technology in with their Kinect. It might be a surprise with the Xbox One.
Or Xbox too.
If it works,
Well, it's still new technology right now, so that's the main thing. Once people start getting their hands on it, toying with it, it's going to add a lot of depth on interactive formats. Think about a movie, watching a movie and actually interacting with it.
Then that's borderline video game.
And, well, think about Lord of the Rings, the big battle of Helm's Deep, actually putting you in that thing where it's just subtle things where you move and the soldiers move out of your way or leap over your tables and stuff. I mean,
Swing
there's
your hand and like a fucking 1,000 orcs go flying and shit.
yeah, there's a lot that can be done with this. I think a lot of more of the interesting things are going to be disaster relief.
Yeah, so I see this more as a learning technology as far as like teaching students about their environments. It'd be great for medical students. Anything that they can get their hands on to help them, understand more of the human anatomy, the body, biological system, stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, also,
Live inside of the rectum.
stuff like that. NASA programs and stuff like that. Tour around the space shuttle. tour around like a projected planet or whatever, in case we are planning on inhabiting future planets, like they do say. I see that.
Be able to drop a drone in a place where people can't physically be, and then actually have it mapped out. That would just be
Even like the drone can even like do a live feed toward as the camera's moving with the drone, you're actually in, a virtual simulated space of the drone moving around on that planet. I see it more as an application for the sciences than for the entertainment.
Well, see, here's the thing. The technology as it stands so far is flat. It's 2D. I don't really see this as a big leap ahead because, like you said, the PlayStation Eye and the Kinect already kind of have this technology in it, but instead of it being on screen, it's just being projected by a light.
But here's something very interesting. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Go ahead.
The earliest form of technology that was used for projection mapping was, in fact, created by Disney for the ride Haunted Mansion. Excuse me.
Yeah, I seen that. That was actually, it was a lot of good stuff in there, but instead of them putting it on the ground, they used mirrors like that. Man, me and Denonu was watching those videos of those Japanese, what do they call it? The pop stars. The digital pop stars. The holograms.
Yeah.
That's like that was like their version of like Miki something. That was their version of like projection mapping, and the same thing they use for Tupac and Coachella.
Yeah.
But,
have you guys ever seen that video where that guy is actually playing around with those laser beams to techno? I mean, there's some cool stuff that people are doing with it where he's I can't remember the video, but he's like grabbing the beam and physically like making it look like he's bending it, slamming it on the ground. There's a lot just stuff that can be done with this, and I think it becoming a little bit more mainstream now. People are toying with it in just the coolest ways, that it's going to be a matter of time before it actually becomes something tangible.
See, here's the thing: if they do make that for like the next gen thing for video games, how much is that something like that going to cost? And then it's projection mapping, so you're going to have to look at your whole room as a canvas. So that means you're going to have to install stuff in the walls and the ceiling. And
not really.
How so?
Because really what you're buying is basically a projector.
Well, it's a scanner too.
It's
it
just a
actually maps
projector.
out.
Well, yeah, but when you look at a projector, it's just like a flashlight. It only covers so much. This thing, this projection in the video, it was covering the wall, the floor. It was covering like at least 3 walls and a floor. So that's way more than just one projection.
Obviously, it's in the
Also,
ceiling.
at the same time, this is not the first time interactive media has actually done this before. They've had what they call augmented reality games for years. You guys know what augmented reality games are?
Yeah, a few other
reality
things.
that's augmented.
Just go ahead and explain it.
Okay, augmented reality is, they had some cell phone games way back when Android was like first launching, to where it utilized your camera and your GPS location, and as you were moving around with your camera throughout the area, it will pop up little short enemies for you to blast or whatever. They also had a light gun game for you just put your camera on top of the gun and you point it around, and whatever you saw, you shot it.
Okay, I remember that.
Yeah, and they've actually had this stuff in the military too.
Walmart was selling it. Like, it's been around for years. Now it seems like they're just heightening it to a more projection style. So if interactive media was to do it, it's just going to be more as like a plaything. When I say plaything, it's like something
Peripheral?
Yeah, we can go with peripheral.
Yeah, but it's not going to be cheap though. I mean, it's going to be
Not
like
at
a corporation type thing where it's like, okay, we have this entertainment setup room where we give presentations or something, and they can buy it. I mean, I can't see this coming to domestic homes and be cheap. I mean, it's going to probably be a few $1,000s to set all that up.
I would say a good 4.
I mean, a projection alone, just a regular HD projecting device is already like $1,500.
At the same time, we thought that virtual reality was going to be expensive as hell, and the Oculus Rift proved us wrong. When it does come out to retail, it's going to be $500. That's less than Xbox One.
That's real affordable because everybody has that in their pocket.
How much is an Xbox One? $600. How much is a PlayStation?
Well, not right now.
What?
Xbox One is cheap now.
Yeah,
But
so is the
when it
PS4.
first did launch, it was at that price and people were still buying it.
Oh
when the
shit!
when the Sega Genesis first
When
launched,
buying
when the Genesis first launched,
Well, hold
the
on, hold on.
Genesis, the original retail price of the Genesis was $499.
Yeah, you guys are missing one of the key things about it is right now it's new. So no one's really figured out a way to make a marketable product, put it out there, find the appropriate technology for it at a reasonable cost. That's just going to take one company figuring it out, manufacturing the product, and then putting it out there. And as time progresses, better technology is going to start being a little bit more cheaper and easier to produce. So I think it's just going to be a matter of time before that kind of nice equilibrium of cost and quality of the product just meet right for mainstream consumption.
Yeah.
I will say this though, I do think that this could be a stepping stone to, let's say, I don't know if you guys remember the movie, but Minority Report, when Tom Cruise is on the wall doing all the stuff with his hands, or let's say take something new like in Avengers and Iron Man when Tony Stark is messing around with all the 3D holographic tech and whatnot. You know, I think it could be a precursor to that.
Those,
I'm thinking of
It's called a 5K
Star
table.
Trek, actually. Star Trek, the holodecks that the captains used to walk onto in their little miniature private lounges or whatever. They would say a scene, and the whole room would warp into the scene like the Wild West or like an oasis in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was more than visual though. Like you can actually touch and live and romance women there, holographic women.
Yep.
Like if we ever got to that point, you know, the porn industry would probably make that, and then nobody would ever live their lives.
They're already working on it.
The that actually reminds me of, since we're talking about like video game aspects right now, that what is that blind game? It's a game for blind people. It's a 3D game for blind people.
Interesting.
Yeah. Y'all haven't heard about that one, but
That'd be cool if it was a sword fighting game.
Is it Blind Legend?
Is it Blind Legend?
I think that's what it is.
I gotta look it up. But anyway, there's they tested it out, and the way it works is when you're at they had an example of the guy at a laptop, whatever. So what he would do is like it was just sensory, like all you do is hear everything that's going on. You were led by your daughter, and your daughter would tell you which way to go, and you would press the corresponding keys to do what she says. So if she was like saying like step forward or whatever, you would just press the up arrow key. But for a blind person who's visually it's not appealing because you don't see anything. But for a blind person, if you think about it, like if they have surround sound or something like that, it's almost like they're inside that world. The only other thing that they don't have is other senses like smell, touch, taste, and stuff like that.
I think it's called Blindside.
Hold on.
I would know
Blind
it if I heard
Legend.
Audio adventure.
Blind. I think it's Blind Legend.
Yeah, Blind Legend. Yeah.
And it's by I'm probably gonna butcher it, by binaural technology, BINAURAL.
I'll put a link in the description.
Yeah.
But the video is pretty interesting. So what do you guys think about actually tailoring video games towards people with disabilities?
Oh, I can't wait till they actually start doing it with other mediums. Movies.
Do you remember the smellogram or smell-o-vision that they tried to release?
Yeah, but that will be interesting because think about it, like a lot of the movies that just had those was it the vibrating chairs and everything? That's a really it's a really simple idea, but a lot of people when those moments came on and you feel the vibrations with the sound, it adds just that depth to it. So imagine these medias with people with all their senses, and then the people who don't or are missing specific senses to be able to experience the same things in their way. I think that's going to be one of the most interesting things about it.
I want to say Disney World and Universal Studios has a 4D ride, and I remember getting on this ride. It was like a under ocean thing where while you're on this ride, the chairs will move like side to side, just like you're seeing in the video. And if there was water getting sprayed on the screen, there was actually in the back seat, in the back part of the chair in front of you, was like a mist gun where that it would spray water in your face. Not a lot, but so holes that look like a speaker, and it would actually blow out a scent to you that you would be supposedly supposed to be smelling on the TV. But I guess mine was like some fucking. It was messed up because all I can smell was like burnt copper and shit. But
Somebody was farting in their seat and you just got that whiff of some
like, I don't smell like strawberries. What the fuck? Yeah, but I can see that happening, but I can't see that being like a mainstream type thing. It's too much. It's too much stuff involved with packing and the manufacturing costs and getting this into the house, and you probably have to fucking change cartridges and shit for cents.
Like whenever it comes to marketing, they're always easing people into stuff just to see what a test audience would do. Because right now, augmented reality, it's been around for years. So in Google Glasses, whenever you're wearing the Google Glasses, you can just look at an advertisement. It's looking up the information for you. Whenever you're driving down the road, it can actually give you live traffic feeds and where to turn live via the shades. They've been doing it for a long time. This is just a more casual home version.
Mm-hmm.
See that?
And then it's that same thing as before. It's just going to take time and a company figuring out how to market it. Because a lot of people used to say the same things with 3D printing, and that has almost become mainstream.
Yeah.
It is.
They're even used to help create statues for theme parks and amusement rides.
Yeah, and
I remember Universal Studios uses a 3D printer. And what was that one mountain with the big ass lion built inside of it for Disney World and
Animal
San Francisco?
Kingdom?
Animal Kingdom.
That's not Animal Kingdom. I know what you're talking about. That's not Disney World. That's Universal Studios.
Yeah, but they use a 3D printer to help create the wire mesh that the clay went over to create the sculpture for that ride.
Oh, nice.
That movie Pacific Rim, they used 3D printing for most of the set or for most of the props.
Oh wow.
So
And that's relatively cheap too because it's a certain type of polymer plastic.
it can be whatever because they use it in the medical field too. They put I think
For
stem cells.
prosthetics.
Yeah, they can print bone. They can print skin grafts. So it's just figuring out what for the application, and I think it would be the same process with
They
these
even have a
other
cast.
sensory things.
Yeah, I remember they created a cast in Russia that simulates the way bone structures are formed within the human body, and it goes over your arm like a glove, and it helps promote growth and healing within broken bones.
Yeah, I think where they wanted to get it, they even want to try to print organs and stuff like that, and replacements.
If they can
Shit.
print that, they
That
can.
might be tough.
No, they've printed the actual things. They're just trying to figure out a way to get like a cell material as the printing cartridge.
Next thing you know, making clones.
Well, that's ultimately kind of what it is. They take the cell material from the person needing the donation, and then they print it. So as long as it's their cell material, and I think that's a lot of it is stem cell and all that, there's less of a chance of rejection.
Speaking of that, right quick, the clone part. I want to say I've seen a video where they were actually cloning meat. So instead of like actual animals, they were actually growing meat. You ever seen that? It was
No.
They had this thing looked weird.
There's
They sh-
monsters in the meat.
They showed these different trays that had meat on it, right? And this was supposed to be like grown in a lab, and it looked so fucking weird. It was like a piece of steak, right? But it wasn't steak. It was just like a fucking glob of meat.
It's like a slab of just wet
Yeah,
meat.
that shit was like it had veins and shit popping out of it. It had fucking tubes and shit going into it. It was just, it looked so damn. It did not look natural. But they claim that when you cut it and you eat it, and you cook it in fucking like it's fucking meat. It's the exact same taste as you would get out of a cow. And I was like,
Reminds me of Teen Titans, that episode. Beast Boy was working for the little burger joint, and they were shooting out that gray shit, and they would spray paint it and it would form into a burger.
wow, that's pretty much how I
Just
figured
having
it.
like part of that guy's body, and he was trying to use it for people's minds.
It looked disgusting, like a big fleshy ass piece of meat. And it's supposedly cheaper. It's really.
Wait, what happened?
I mean, I'm hoping y'all motherfuckers ain't making a joke about that shit, but
No, go ahead.
I'm
Okay.
saying nothing.
We're sorry. Just keep talking about your big
It's-
slap
it's-
of meat.
Okay, yeah. This big slab of meat right here, yeah. So this
You guys have been talking about me
it
again.
was fucking disgusting. It was fucking disgusting. That's I wouldn't eat that shit. But
But if it was cooked and presented with all the fixings and everything and presented to you,
yeah, you wouldn't know. Like if you don't fucking tell me, yeah, I wouldn't care. But the problem is
I'd
that
be mad as fuck once I found out.
you need to know. You need further testing on that shit. Now, what if I eat that shit, and then all of a sudden my organs start failing and stuff because I ate
why
a
would
weird
they
piece of
start
meat?
failing?
By the way,
Just
John,
saying, it comes
No,
out.
no,
of the
I
fucking
understand.
lab,
Like,
you know?
there's that whole thing, but this is controlled, basically from the ground up. There should be.
They
There
say
should
the
no
same thing about
cola.
drugs from the ground up, and then look what happens. Side
That's
effects may
human
cause
error.
anal bleeding.
Side effect.
Fucking
Yeah.
anal rectum bleeding. Fucking may cause death. Like what? Really?
The side effects are worse than what you're trying to fix.
Yeah. Like I need.
I remember they had
fucking
this
pills
one
for
pill
that.
for like birth control, and it was like side effects include instant death. Who
Yeah.
the hell do you call when you catch that symptom?
I mean, I guess you're not pregnant anymore, though.
Jesus. But
Got quiet real quick. Anybody said shit? Like, nope.
Just let it go.
Not touching that.
All right, so what's the next topic, man?
Quantum, not physics. Damn.
Quantum
Okay.
computing.
Google doing quantum computing. It was supposed to be the damn fucking blind 3D game, but that went by extremely quick. But anyway, quantum Google. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
Quantum computing.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Google's getting into quantum computing.
There you go.
quantum Googling.
Quantum Googling.
I think the future's gonna be scary.
As
That's what I
defined
think
by
about this
Wiki,
topic.
a quantum computer is a computation system that makes direct use of quantum mechanical phenomena such as superposition and entanglement to perform operations on data. Quantum computers are different from digital computers based on transistors, whereas digital computers require data to be encoded into binary digits. I'm gonna stop right there.
Cool.
For the rest, Google quantum computer, Wiki quantum computing.
So,
Back to quantum computing.
what does Google need this shit for?
It's like
Well,
I told you last
that
night, man. They're
nonsense.
gonna make Terminators with the Google logo on them, and they're gonna like take over the world.
Yeah, so don't order anything on Google. Remember, don't buy
Quantum-
shit from Google.
Isn't quantum physics also the study of space?
That's physics. We're talking about
Well,
computing.
that's quantum physics.
Quantum physics.
Computing
Quantum
is different.
computing is calculating quantum physics, is it not?
No,
No,
it's different things.
Quantizing data on a subatomic level, meaning really, 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 really fast.
How did
It's
you-
basically making when you have like a computerized intelligence. Quantum computing is giving computerized intelligence the ability to exponentially grow and think over time with knowledge, so that machines will get smarter and smaller and smarter. They think
Like
that
giving
once
them the capacity. It's
exactly
Like that
yeah.
Johnny
Not
Depp
the-
movie. What's that Johnny Depp movie?
Oh shit!
Well, that was a little bit different
sucky-ass
because
movie.
that was
Yeah,
him.
that's-
That was
yeah.
that was his mind in it. This is more like breaking this will give us the ability to create artificial intelligence.
Johnny
Actual
Depp has created the
intelligence.
future.
to it. Like the
I
thing
mean,
that
it's not like they don't already have artificial intelligence when it comes to that stuff because they have smart ads. The more you search, the more it's tailoring itself to what
But
you're
hold on,
looking for.
That's
It's-
more of an
Yeah, that's my
Oh,
that's
no,
more.
yeah, I was gonna say along those lines, like Jolly was gonna say,
Algorithm.
it's picking up
Algorithm.
patterns
yes,
and calculating certain things.
Algorithm.
yes. That's what that is. But
Algorithm.
but quantum calculating is more so artificial, like letting the computer think for itself.
Yeah,
I think that's
With
a
algorithms.
simple way of putting it on a very complicated process.
We are very simple people. We are not scientists. Like,
Their algorithms.
I know,
I'm not
so-
finna fucking start spouting random shit and
Yeah,
like have somebody like,
as soon as you
hey, that is not right there,
for
guy.
itself, I think a lot of people immediately go to artificial intelligence. These
I
things are
see you Googled moose knuckle. Would you like to see results for camel toe?
We're gamers. We're not nerds. This doesn't make sense.
All I want to know is how.
I am the educated one in the room. God.
Could you imagine what this could do for porno?
Ugh.
I was actually gonna say YouTube, but I mean the porno thing that may be. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Remember that movie Stealth? You remember that? Has anybody seen Stealth?
Yeah, I've
Please?
seen it.
Thank you. There was a fucking computer they put in a what
He did that out of sympathy.
I want to say rocket. No, he didn't. I want to say rocket ship. Well, what do you call that shit?
No,
Jet
it was
fighter.
it was a jet. Yeah, it was like an experimental jet.
They fucking
yeah.
they fucking had this supercomputer, right? It had like fucking gigatons of fucking RAM and shit, and it would just download stuff off the internet.
That's some heavy.
And they asked it, so it was actually listening to music at one point, actually enjoying music, and he said, "Oh, so what kind of music does it download?" The other person was like, "All of it, like everything. It downloaded the entire internet,
And you know what?
everything."
That brings us back to that funny ass article we saw last night that Dubai's police was just so amazed with their budget that they decided to give all their officers on the streets Google glasses to help them fight crime like watchdogs.
I don't kind of see how that kind
Totally
of
relevant. Totally relevant.
Not really. You just want
Totally
to bring that shit up so you can talk about it. That's what that was.
Yeah.
All you saw was like, hey, linking Google to Google, not quantum computing.
I look at it like this. This is a
It's funny,
precursor
none of
because
us
you
know
got
computing right
the
now.
whole 3D mapping technology, right? You take
Yeah.
that, you bring that in, you make holograms, give them the whole quantum computing, artificial intelligence,
Yep.
you know, and then somehow make it hard light to where they can touch you, and bam, we got holodeck right there
See, and then-
with sexy ladies.
But see, here's the problem.
Yes!
Here's the problem, though. Once they get a hold of a 3D printer and then make those 3D printers print more 3D printers, and those
Then we
printers start printing fucking people, and then they jump into
Sexy robot army.
Then you got
Holocaust.
fucking whatchamacallit, Syntech or whatever from fucking Terminator.
Oh,
Yeah,
Skynet.
yeah,
Skynet. Yeah, you
Then you got an army of
Syntech, where's that
sexy,
shit?
naked robot chicks attacking you.
That would be awesome. Sexy robot chicks attack. That would be awesome.
Best apocalypse
We
ever.
would, the male race would fucking die because we would be
Instantly.
too distracted to
Instantly.
kill them.
Baby,
Or the
you go in the
people-
house. I'm gonna take care of this.
They probably find the female race a threat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They would go after them first. While we just sitting there watching, like, look at this girl on girl action over here.
Oh, like
We gotta
Seven
stop recording
Wives.
before Hollywood take this idea.
What's that movie called? The
Yeah,
Seven
it is
Wives?
true. Patent
Coming
pending.
this summer.
Patent pending, motherfuckers.
Yeah, pet pending.
It's our
In
ideas.
a world where one program
Let's give that script to
figures out
sci-fi.
what-
I was actually enjoying this. Wait. Go ahead. Go.
In a world where one sci-fi idea becomes patented by the military, coming this summer, David Duchovny.
Ugh, what are these naked robot chicks doing here?
Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman has to be the sexy lady apocalypse.
I'm going
No,
to have
he is the program.
This motherfucker,
Ladies now.
No, he's just the narrator for the whole thing that's never seen. Like you
Yeah,
don't.
yeah, he's the background guy.
I can't let you do that, humanity. I can't say no to that voice.
I know what's going on. in
Well, kind of back to the
Like
topic
a Twinkie.
about this.
Like a Twinkie.
One of the things that's interesting when you think about it is it's us trying to comprehend an entity that we can't comprehend. I don't know if you guys have actually heard of the singularity and what that means. It's a geeky term for when artificial intelligence surpasses human intelligence. And it's going to be one of those things that is split second.
the
that-
Matrix.
Yeah, but that Matrix. But when we see it that way, us as a species immediately get defensive and see it as a threat.
Yeah.
So, and that's what kind of is toyed with a lot in movies and a lot of media. Oh, it's the threat we created and can't fight, and sexy robot women coming after us.
Yeah, they
And
use it
there's
in
only
a.
one
Interesting
person
to
that could
see how
save
it
the world.
Yeah,
I see how
but
this
it's gonna
plays
be
out
interesting to
because
see how it works because
and every hackers will
Really?
save the world.
Really? Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Y'all motherfuckers talking at the same time, and then he was like trying to save the world, and you was like hackers. Like what?
Hackers are gonna save the world.
Okay. Now what were you saying?
Matrix.
Okay.
Back to you, Bear.
I feel dumber being part of that conversation right now. But what I was getting at, the interesting part is going to be how it actually plays out. Is it going to be harmonious? Are we actually just going to be leeching off of this completely advanced system? Are they even going to regard us as something? And there's so many different medias out there that toy with that idea, from Ghost in the Shell to
iRobot.
Hell, Mass Effect with the whole virtual intelligences.
Yeah.
Halo.
It's going to be interesting to see it happen. I think it's going to be very difficult to try and predict it. There's going to be just that few group that are going to be like, I nailed it 100%. Well,
that's what I'm gonna say with my holodeck room.
I don't know. I think it's going to be one of those things, like you said. It's going to be hard to try to predict where humanity is going to think once we do it, because it might be like the Deus Ex situation, where like there's going to be people that's going to try to do it and it'll be for it, and then you got everybody else who's going to be against it, and that might put us in, like, let's say, like a civil war aspect as a species, trying to do what's right and what's wrong. It'll be like stem cell research and like all those other high-end scientific researches.
Human cloning.
Well, then you toss in the other factions about it, religion.
Yeah, religion and everything else. Yeah.
And can life truly be created?
Wait a minute. Here's the thing though. What is Google gonna do with it though? Not only that, but what is it gonna do?
Bring it back.
What is it gonna do for every other thing that Google owns?
They're gonna try to monetize it. I think that's their number one priority.
I just pictured the perfect moment. Google's quantum physics naked robot android chicks against Amazon's little carrier droid.
We're gonna let you have your fantasy, okay? And we're gonna get back to the Google thing. What is it gonna do for YouTube?
I see one thing that that Google could do with it. Like, if they ever get it right, to where it can think for itself and it actually gets it can predict what you want. It can send you certain ads, certain videos on the side. Maybe it can do the whole algorithm of Google detecting whether you use somebody's copyrighted material a whole lot better than a person, so people don't have to do it.
Get ready for a lot of
along
bands.
the lines with YouTube, the same thing of just having the homepage bring up the videos that you want to watch.
I have a theory.
Okay.
Amazon versus Google.
That Google Talk, whenever you talk to your cell phone, maybe you might be trying to make a more advanced version of Siri for the Google Talk version, or
cool.
I'll be trying to use it for Google Plus.
Hopefully, it sounds less robotic when it talks back.
Yeah, they would have to give it like a sexy female voice.
Oh yeah, well,
Maybe
Microsoft already has Cortana, so they might give us like a masculine voice. Oh god, not Jeeves. Morgan Freeman. I can do it. Morgan Freeman or Sean Connery.
Okay, wait a minute, Spectre, go ahead.
I'm done. I'm done.
As soon as he heard
here's the
male
problem.
Siri voice,
Here's
he's
the
like,
problem. I'm like, we doing this webcam thing because you got to see when people are talking. You guys are like cutting people off. Are you sure? Are you sure you're finished?
I'm done. I'm positive. I'm good.
I want Morgan Freeman for my Siri.
Man, you have that look on your
Turn back
face
that
like
light.
the next motherfucker. I swear, I'm coming to your house and murdering you in your sleep. And then I'll be like, who's cutting who off now, motherfucker? Huh? All right.
I'm done.
Spectre out.
Oh shit.
Signing off like a boss.
All right. So next topic. Obviously, somebody's having these weird virtual fantasies. So that goes right into our next topic: Oculus Rift and porn.
All right.
It takes one to tango.
Because like we've been talking about this junk the entire time.
Okay.
One.
Let me
I'm
start this one off.
excited.
Let me start this one off. I just want to ask you all a question right now. When you guys were growing up watching Disney movies, we all had a crush on our favorite Disney star.
I didn't.
Okay.
You're really
I was in
opening
love
up
with
to that.
That was like my Disney crush. Everybody has a Disney crush.
Who?
You can't deny it.
Who was it?
Princess Jasmine. She was sexy as hell. There, I said it. I said it. And now, thanks to Tanga, my dream has become a reality. And Oculus Rift, I can now make love to Princess Jasmine.
Whole new world.
You know, we're
Right.
So Tanga is like this amazing ass company. I've done my research.
We
It's
got-
created lots and lots of interactive peripherals for adults such as myself.
Wait,
and others who had the
wait.
same
I can see Tango
thoughts.
right now looking at this podcast and contacting you for like advertisement, and like you're gonna be the next spokesperson for this
Please let
sex
Princess
toy.
Jasmine-
No, that will tank their sales.
Yeah, because then they're gonna be like the peripherals are too big and it doesn't fit the average consumer. But anyways,
Hashtag humble brag.
Oh shit! Hashtag big slab of meat.
Yeah, weren't you complaining that it looked weird?
Oh man. Who?
Mixed meat with a tank.
so they have lots of things ranging from lubricants to the deep throat cup and the egg beater beat egg.
Yeah, no, no,
Okay,
no.
wait a minute. First off, this isn't really about the actual sex toy. It's about Oculus Rift and that company
getting
Tenga
Right,
using the sex toy with the Oculus Rift.
Yeah, the peripherals.
Please do not advertise for a fucking sex toy in this podcast. Please, we're not doing that.
I don't want
Okay.
no associations with that.
This motherfucker gonna leave links in the description for Amazon and where to go get it and how to use this shit. He's gonna make fucking YouTube videos,
Personal
He may even fucking
reviews?
do a Twitch.
Unboxing
Hey, y'all
videos.
see this Tenga right here? This is how you use it.
Black cherry.
The lubricant is also edible.
Oh wait, that's me.
Oh, man.
Oh fuck.
But anyways,
Tad bit
I'm not my
salty.
proudest
Okay,
boner right
so
now.
with all that being said, why on earth would Tenga release the first interactive thing for the Oculus Rift with the deep throat thingy, being a little girl jacking you off? Why Japan?
That
I
was-
think
Why?
okay, look,
That's because of their
Now
long
it's television.
no, it's smell-o-vision.
Funky fresh.
Damn.
I just think it's just with Japan, man. That's just what they do.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Yeah.
got a lot of different. They're kind of sexually repressed, but then they just let it all out, and it's like they don't know where to go as
Man.
a sexual culture. So that's why they gravitate to everything. But
So all you
They're
hentai
freaky
junkies.
as Fuck. I
Oh,
would
hope
love
they
it in
make one from
Japan,
Mortal
really.
Kombat.
Press Start Hub, where casual gamers talk about non-casual.
Oh, I thought you were saying porno hub.
Casual
like,
sex with hentai
At
characters.
this point, this entire conversation, even with the quantum physics calculation
I'm
shit,
gonna
was
play with my Tenga and eat a tangerine. I'm gonna call it the Tango.
Right quick.
I'm just
the
sitting here
video-
in my mind. It's like, is he really getting excited about a fruit salad right now?
Man. So the video, the advertisement that they showed for this was, it was a weird like fucking machine, right? It had an arm on it,
Mhm.
and it would hold the Tenga for you.
so is it like a grip like this?
Yeah, it had a grip on the Tenga. Like, and the Tenga's like a tube. It looks like a fleshlight. If y'all
Tanga's
ever
the name
seen
of the
that.
company. The Deep Throat Cup is the name of the device.
It's basically a song.
Whatever you call it, you know all that stuff more than
The
I do,
DTC.
okay?
The
So,
DTC. We'll abbreviate it.
so anyway,
No, it's
it
a
holds
song.
this fucking thing that you put your penis in, right?
And
you
it's about the size of half the size
Shut
of a can
the
of Sprite.
fuck up, please. We
Sorry.
know how much you love this toy, dude. But just
I'm
calm
going to
down,
probably
okay?
invest in one of these.
It's only $8. There you go. Go ahead, have fun, have fun. Anyway,
This
Machine is
that
60.
costs $8.
The machine is 60. The actual peripheral that connects to the machine.
first off,
Man, no one cares about the pricing right now. Let the
Oh.
man talk.
you a lazy motherfucker if you can't hold your own fucking toy, dog. Like, you know, like really, do you need to buy a machine that only does this shit? That's it.
$8.
Anyway, so
Best money else ever spent.
fucking forgot what I was
Jesus Christ.
point. Point. Yeah, so anyway, the machine holds this fucking Tenga, right? And I know it's not called that, okay? Just please stop.
I'm just
It
saying.
holds this toy. It holds this toy, right? And in the video, the guy was wearing the Oculus Rift glasses. And right quick, I would be pissed if I was like one of the owners of Oculus Rift, like just fucking putting this side by side with my product. I would be mad as hell.
They
But
fucked
anyway,
your toy.
He's fucking looking through the glasses, and you're in this simulated room, and you have an anime character, and it's a little girl, fucking
Lolly.
like, yeah,
It's a lolly.
looks like 7 or 8, right? And she's fucking
Beep, 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 beep,
yep,
beep.
handling up on this toy, this virtual toy on your stuff.
I imagine the old man from Family Guy.
And then on the next one, they have
the guy grabbing the boobs.
yeah,
Hold
they
on,
have
pause.
a
Pause.
fleshy
Hold
little.
on, one second. I don't mean to interrupt you. Did you just say you want the old man from Family Guy on your shit?
That's what he
no,
said.
no, I
That's
just
what he
said
said.
I imagined the old guy from Family Guy just watched this podcast.
Uh-huh.
Must be my lucky day.
Yeah.
No, that's not
I got
what
a whole freezer full
I
of
think everybody
popsicles.
called him that. Wow.
Do you have that song that the kids can play? Da 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 da.
Waiting on that muscle on paper, boy. Good news. I can't do the whistle. Anyway, so yeah, on the next one they had like a more adult version, fucking like bending over in front of you, and I guess going at it. I don't really know how you get the sensation of an ass on you, but hey, and
Hey, look, they got cyber sex toys for that. They could probably integrate that, make it life size. There you
You got
go.
that water balloon thingy that you felt. Oops.
Oh,
Ooh.
Can we just move to the next topic now?
You must-
We are humans. We will
Bagel
find a
cup.
way to make it work. Trust me.
so
There's
Fucking
so
hot bagels.
much just with there that the Oculus Rift really isn't bringing anything other than a visual integration with these toys. They have full-size lifelike sex dolls. I mean, it's there.
yeah,
It's gonna start getting to the point where it's just gonna be the machines, like how we were joking on about. It's the Oculus
one of us was
Rift.
serious. One
No,
of us
it
was
is.
serious about that.
It really, one of the jokes in the whole community on artificial intelligence and everything is that prostituted robots will be out first before we ever get artificial intelligence.
And soon after, they're prostituted pimps.
Engaging in slap.
Hey, wait a minute. Can you imagine getting pimp slapped by a damn robot? That shit would hurt. It would have hurt.
They have to model it after Jack 5 and Tekken.
Oh wow, wow. That
Why
boy-
gotta be Jack 5? Why it can't be like Raven?
Moving on.
Can we take his just card out?
So this motherfucker want to have a Blade character come up to you and whip your ass. A fucking black robot ninja. That's what we need.
It's a lot better than a big ass swole fucking
Another
robot slapping the shit out of
No,
me.
Well, see, here's the thing though. You want a pimp that looks intimidating.
I want a pimp that looks like a pimp. This pimp slap the fuck out of me if I fuck up on my payments.
First off, why do you even want a pimp to slap you
I
anyway?
was gonna say you
Said
have
if I
to
fuck
Like you were the only person here that would fuck up on payments and be like, "Oh, I need a pimp to fucking discipline me."
Hey Ray, if you need, I can pimp
that
for you.
old
If you
man
want
from
even
Family
pay me,
Guy.
I'll come beat you up.
You ain't been charging that old man from Family Guy.
Pedro gotta keep his pimp hands strong.
Golly.
But the thing
That's
that's
rough.
interesting about the whole process with this is where is it going next? And I think a lot of the scares people have are like how Jolly, you were kind of cringing and already in your voice the little girls that pedophilia, bestiality.
Fuck,
There's going to be a
man.
lot of things
Yeah.
introduced, but they already are. And
Can't
these
we
are
ban it?
people who-
Oh, there's gonna be some furry fucking. I can promise you that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Somewhere.
people
in
are
there.
gonna live out their in-depth
That's
fantasies on toys.
considered-
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
koala
shit.
bear,
I just thought
and
about
panda
that.
bear,
You got
and a grizzly
Sky-
bear.
Wait a minute.
You
Go
got
ahead.
Skyrim, all the mods for Skyrim.
Oh yes.
Oh, dang.
Wow, it just fits right there. You got the Oculus Rift on. You got your toy beside you. You walk into a brothel.
Yeah.
Game on.
Get it
You
on
walk
with this
down the
half
street,
goat shit.
Going around killing goblins. You walk into a vampire cave. Oh, this vampire is naked. I think I'm a
Yeah.
rape.
Go out, yeah.
And then you
And
talk
hey,
about your adventures to your
you-
friends, and you're like, just fuck the koala bear,
Come on, Rin.
and the panda bear, and the grizzly bear.
Hang on, just be quiet.
Oh, and the papa bear.
Oh, Papa Bear gets his. I will let you know why they call me Daddy.
This porridge is too hot.
I think the thing that makes this such an interesting topic is the human factor involved in it. Like how Spectre was saying that, you go in, you demolish a city, and then you rape the women. Like allowing people to do that scares a lot of people.
Nothing about
Viking Simulator 2014.
I just said you walk into a brothel. I think
No,
going to a brothel and destroying the brothel is two different things.
I didn't say you said that, but like going into Skyrim and then that's the going in, killing a village and raping them. That's a separate point from what you were
Here's-
saying.
When does that
who's gonna
become
rape-
illegal, though?
Nobody said anything about
Wait a minute.
rape.
When does that become illegal?
It doesn't. It's
No, no,
not.
no. I mean, what I'm saying is, you know how like, all right, having kid porn on your computer is illegal, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
get fucking sent to jail for that shit.
Yeah.
You have like rape stuff and stuff like that on your computer is illegal. Now
No, no,
making
no, no. Hold on, Jolly. Before you go on, I have to stop you there. If it's real child pornography, actual pictures of children, it's illegal.
We're
So,
gonna just totally
only-
change this topic.
wait a minute, no, this is fucking not a casual topic. We
Yeah,
talk about this
Just
shit.
say, we're on this
What I was
page.
saying, the
It's not a
sad-
legal topic either.
only certain countries have illegal art and, or I'm sorry, have considered
legalization.
forms of child pornography mediums to be illegal, as in depictions of
Well,
children.
here's the thing: just as laws can be passed and stuff become illegal,
It's how they interpret it.
then look at how you take a 3D model of like some of these games. Some of that shit looks so real, especially in those cutscenes.
Mhm.
That shit looks damn near real.
I'm getting
You can
disgusted.
pretty much thank you. You're supposed to. That's what it's for. Like, damn, this whole time I was wondering when the fuck you was gonna cross that line and be like, yeah, this is the line I'm not crossing over.
Line's
I
been
guess we just
crossed.
hit it.
You motherfuckers need to step back on the other side of the line.
But you can't.
Something
You
that we
can't
talking
talk
about.
about this subject and not see both the
Yeah,
pros.
you
and
gotta
cons.
see the fucked up parts too.
I think that
Raping kids in Skyrim. Okay, I get the picture. Can we like cross back over the line again now? Get
No.
back to the side
I
of the
think that given the medium, it's just like anything else. I think it's going to become like Ghost in the Shell, where once you develop the technology, yeah, they can make games where you have all of humanity's fetishes and fantasies that you can live out. As long as you choose to do it, I think they're going to make laws where it's going to be like, where do you cross the line?
Mhm.
It's not going to be sold in certain stores. You have to get it a certain way. There's going to be
Age
them. They may even
verification.
be having like a black market dedicated to it, but they're just going to make laws that accompany to it. It's not
Yeah.
real, so it's not hurting anybody but you if you decide to jump in and do that and do it. So countries are going to take it on based on their own, their own situation. Like something like Japan, they might be cool with that because that's a part of their sexual culture. Over here in America, we might be like, okay, well, we just ain't gonna sell those games. But you have the freedom to do whatever you want to do. It ain't like you hurting somebody. And in addition, this might even help some people stop hurting people. And
I think that's more of a fallacy along those lines
Yeah.
because
Yay,
the big
fallacy.
debate is it's not you're either two sides of it. The whole classic kind of video games make people violent type train of thought, and then you have the other side to that being that these are some very disturbed behaviors that are being encouraged. So it's a lose situation no matter what, simply because of the fact that the real issue isn't being addressed. This medium, this new technology and whatnot, isn't part of the problem. It's just catering to whoever.
yeah.
So when you think about a lot of these disturbing things that are going to be exposed and whatnot, it's up to the individual and it's up to certain groups, communities, laws, and everything to try to make it as safe as possible so that, each person can express their fantasies safely and can be exposed safely to certain things.
Yeah, that's what I think as well. And plus, just to go back on the topic a little bit, I mean, it's just one of those things. It's going to be just like pornography, where you have a lot of people that are into the vanilla typical stuff, and you got other types of porn that cater to whoever likes the balloon
Chocolatey
sex
stuff.
and
kinky.
pooping on people
Well, think
and all of
about
that.
that. It's like porn, the romance of it. Romance is the big.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm sorry. When you said that, I was like, how the fuck are they gonna simulate that?
Simulate
mean?
what?
The pooping thing. Like, I guess like you go heat up some custard or something.
Well, I
like
can't see them simulating that.
mashed potatoes. Put them in
Tango
this
has
like
the
little
answer for that.
like drop box or
boo-boo
something like
batter.
that. And like when it happens, you press a button and it just opens up and it just flop on your. Oh man.
Boo boo batter dispenser.
You thought of it.
Hey! I look at it like this. You seen the boo machine? It's Japan. They'll think
Hey.
of a way.
Hey.
Or
like,
if
preheated
not them,
peanut
those
butter.
Germans.
But wasn't
Golly.
there a side topic to this we were supposed to cover? Something about like
Uh,
the Japan.
Oh yeah. Okay, so going back to a few conversations ago, where Japan's like social type aspect. Denano, how did you put it? You was like they're
More repressed.
yeah, socially
They're
repressed.
it's kind of
It's,
like they've never had the chance to grow sexually, whereas like their whole society is more open with sexual culture than let's say we are, because we at least over here in America, you've always had religion jumping down your back saying that's wrong, don't do that, do things a certain way. Whereas over Japan and let's say some other places in Europe, it's just like, okay, well, we do it, but it's just a part of life. We just have our certain means and areas where we do it. It's just a part of life like anything else.
Yeah.
And what we were going to talk about with the next topic or the next part of this one was where Japan is so technologically and developed as far as cell phones and social medias that they've gotten away from actual interactions with other people.
Human interaction, yeah.
Where the younger generation aren't having enough kids to support the country when the old people die off.
I've heard about that. The population decline.
Yeah,
And that they were equating it to what was it? Virtual what is it? Virtual relations.
Yeah.
Like I actually studied on this when I first heard about it. It's a phenomenon I think they were calling the herbivore to carnivore effect, that
He
women
has a degree in hentai.
I got the hentai. But it's a complete role reversal between how traditionally Japanese men were very dominant household figures and women were submissive kind of bystanders. Now it's flipped, where men have become socially more passive and docile, and women have become more dominant and that. So men have become, herbivores. Women have become carnivores.
Well, to break it down
meat
a little further,
I like
really, golly, you're
Well, no.
too, man. Wait a minute. I'm
Well,
sorry.
hold on, wait. But let me get back on that point what you were getting at. So the problem with it is that men in a lot of the Japanese cultures don't have any interest in dating the women there. They're too dominating, too aggressive. There are no relations with that. And Japan has really embraced catering a relationship to however you want. So do I want to go out with this one girl who I just can't connect with, to just trying to get at me, to just trying to one up me, whatever have you, or can I spend $20 and just have a virtual girl that I can do whatever I want with?
Well, see, here's the thing. I'm like a little bit further into that. I was seeing this video from a YouTube channel called Vice, and on their network, they pretty much, when they cover the news like around the world, they actually go there and they actually experience the culture. They went to Japan, and I think Tokyo to be exact, and they were pretty much trying to do everything that a typical guy would do in a day. And one of the things was they went to some kind of weird place where they have these young girls. I think they're of age or whatever. They sit down and they have different things that you pay for. It's not sex.
Oh, you're talking about a hostess club.
Yeah, but they well, it's kind of like that. They pay for different fantasies. So they'll go into this room and there's like girly stuff everywhere, and like the girl would either be on her knees and the guy would like put his head on her lap or something like that, and you can pay extra to have her clean your fucking ears with Q-tips.
What the fuck would I do?
So you're kind of paying for the whole relationship aspects without actual being in it.
Yeah, you're paying for the affection part, but you're not actually in a relationship with them. And then when you're done, you two bow and you fucking leave. And then the next guy comes in and he does
emotional prostitution. Whatever. That's basically what it is.
Pretty much what it is. Yeah. So
there's guys in Russia to do that.
They had asked him. Well, they asked different guys like, why would you rather come here than be with an actual woman that or something like that. And they even have digital versions of that stuff too. So the guy was like, well, it's difficult to talk to women here. No one really interacts anymore. It just you feel too awkward. Everyone is like socially like inward. They're too what do you call that?
Introverted.
Personality introverted. Yeah, and then they say different arguments, and they also brought up the point where some women were more aggressive But then they had asked women the same thing, and they have actual places like that for women, but it's more like a karaoke type stripper place. That
Hmm.
the guys would come in and they would like sing with them and stuff like that and pour them drinks and things like that and
Play the
it
boyfriend.
yeah, play the boyfriend role, but it would be like
That's a
at a
great
karaoke
job.
place instead of at a place where it's like just a room with a bunch of guy shit in it or something like that.
Yeah.
So they had asked the women the same thing, and the women were saying that I think were like young teenagers. They were saying that, well, I don't want a boyfriend right now because I'm working more on my career.
Yeah.
Like they don't want a
The
family,
fuck?
they don't want kids, they don't want
Oh yeah,
to have
women
that kind
there
of
have become
responsibility. They're not more aggressive, but they focus on different aspects of life other than what they've been
Shit
taught.
becomes more important other than the relationship.
Pretty
well, think
much.
about it how it is in America. Women have become, especially there, have broken out of the stereotype of just being the household figures and the caretakers, and are out there getting power positions, becoming more socially powerful and stuff. One of the best people who I would suggest taking a look on explaining this whole phenomenon is if you guys ever heard of Gaijin Goomba, he does a whole thing in that, but he actually succumbed to the same thing that a lot of the Japanese men were falling for, and he actually explains it a lot better than I think we could, because he's embraced that part of technology in life and kind of had that retrospect on it. But the whole interesting thing is that the fault in this are people not being able to relate to one another anymore. That relationships have become obsolete. Even in America, it's become that way. You see like a lot of rom-coms and all that stuff. It's a joke that usually the most realistic relationships are the ones that fall apart the beginning act. And
Yeah.
that this
Yeah.
crazy situation, this guy stalking you
Yeah.
and proclaiming his love, running into someone in love at first sight and everything, ditch the moment where you have a little bit of a crisis and
Yeah.
go with this spontaneous thing for true love. That doesn't happen in reality. A
Yeah.
relationship's supposed to be give and take.
Yeah.
It's a relation. That whole thing. Don't you even laugh. Don't.
So do you think the
I'm
first
This is
I'm
something
laughing
relationship
I
brought us
like Spectre's like I think he wants to say something.
And how
Go
does
ahead,
this
man.
make you feel?
Huh?
And how does this make you feel?
wait, me?
What? This is
Yes,
therapy?
yes, you. How does this make you feel, Papa Bear? Like, which blob do you see as a butterfly?
What?
So you're asking like what is my opinion on it? Like I'm trying to figure out what the hell you're trying to ask of me.
Yeah. Yeah. Just.
What I was going to
I'm
ask the group was, do you think that virtual reality is going to bring us closer, or is it separating us?
Man,
I
my
think it's not
thoughts
going
on
to have
that,
any effect.
it's already happening. It's already happening right now. Not a lot of people notice it, but when you really sit down and think about it, everyone is on their Twitter, everyone is on Facebook, everyone is on their social media. When you go outside and go to the mall, everyone is looking down on their cell phones all the time, like every single time. More so than not, every time I would go up and just have a conversation, they would ask me, "Do you have a Twitter or a Facebook?" Like, what the fuck? We right here. We can talk right here. We don't need to talk on Facebook. There's no reason to do that.
Well, look at that whole joke of you see a couple at dinner or on a date or something, and what are they doing if it's not working? On their phones, trying to have a conversation
I
or
think when
talking to some one other person.
That's what I mean. It's right here, right now,
Yeah.
and it's only gonna get worse.
Yeah, as
I feel
technology
like,
progresses, it's just gonna get worse. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like you look at OkCupid, POF. These are dating sites that have, at maybe a few years ago, were almost non-existent. Now they're like have millions of people on there because no one wants to interact in person. You
and 7 out of 10 relationships begin online.
Yeah, now they do. Anonymously, you can put whatever you want on your profile, and you can be open because you're not in front of somebody. It's more difficult to be open with somebody face to face because they can see your faults. They can actually interact with you and know what the fuck is wrong with you.
Well,
You
and
know
pick
what I
up the
mean?
social cues that we've all kind of, before this generation being introduced to the internet, had to pick up on how to be interactive in a social environment and be comfortable in those situations. I think a lot of what's declining has nothing to do with it, but there's a lot that makes it easier to make these issues just go.
What you think, Spectre?
Like if you,
I already said my opinion on this.
I think the
I was
most
gonna say, it's
interesting
like,
thing about this is, You know the creation of George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead. There's the sequel, Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead. Which one's the one in the mall?
I think it's
Dawn of the Dead, I think.
Yeah.
In Dawn of the Dead, he created that movie with the prediction that malls would be something that would subjugate people to mindless wandering. That
Well,
we
yeah,
would
it
be
was supposed
trapped
to be
by actual zombies inside the mall is a metaphor for us being consumed with everyday technology.
That's creative. I didn't even see that in the movie. I was just like, oh
Yeah.
shit, there's zombies in the mall.
Well, the zombies in that were supposed to be the consumers.
Oh,
And that was the world's
that-
first mall that was ever created on the set of that movie,
oh I
where
didn't
that
know
movie
that.
was filmed at. And that was his prediction of what malls would do to people. And now, as we can see, it's not just malls that's consuming people's lives. It's more of the technology that we've improved that is so readily available in the mall.
So,
Like,
have you known anybody where a mall has consumed their life?
I don't think a lot of people you can say that, but there's
But as
almost
far as like cell phones, like what JD was just talking about,
Well, that's where I see it the most at the mall because that's where the most people congregate. Instead of
Exactly.
being it just at movies, sometimes you just go to a mall and fucking walk around and watch people.
well, look at just us in our parallels with that. All of us can name at least one or two people who share some part in this conversation, in the decline, or in those same examples. It's there.
Hell, I am shit. I just gotta admit that. I mean,
Shit,
I
I'm on my
rarely
cell
get out the
phone right
house.
now. Fuck.
Yeah, what you say?
I'm on my cell phone right now.
me too.
Just tweeting like, what you say? No, but I mean, I'm one of those people. I fucking sit here, do YouTube videos, play games, and I rarely go outside now. I rarely actually have human interaction. And at first, you notice it. You like when you've had a lot of actual interaction with people, and I know I'm like going through a little therapy session right now. I'm not trying to, but once you start getting away from people, you start having a lot of like inward thoughts. You know what I mean? You start actually being more open to how you actually feel as a person because you're not distracted by another human's interaction with you. And it gets daunting to the fact like, damn, I'm becoming withdrawn. I feel like I'm like in a shell. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
jaded.
you
Tell
can't get out.
Which one is the naked girl?
Really?
What?
We
What are you doing? Put that down. I spend good money on that. Stop bidding my pages.
So it's like
Now,
somebody's gonna
I
have
just want to
blur
point
that
this
one
out.
part.
I'm the intelligent one in this conversation right now.
I mean, that was kind of assholeish, but that's okay though. It's Spectre. It's who he is. So, what I'm saying is, I think everyone has that, and more so than not, most YouTubers know how that feel.
Yeah.
YouTubers are the ones who are on the Twitter account, the Twitter the most, the Facebook's the most, Twitch, pretty much just on the computers for 13 hours a day.
What's that in your hand?
You could
Oh,
almost
it's my
argue
stylus.
against that.
Oh, I thought it was
Oh,
like-
believe me, right now, I would fucking love a joint if I actually smoked weed. Like, I would fucking smoke the fuck out of this, because y'all motherfuckers are stressing. But anyway,
Well, anyways, back to what I was saying. Like, you could argue against that because look at a lot of the successful YouTubers out there. These are very charismatic, appealing people. PewDiePie, Game Grumps, Markiplier, and all that.
I wouldn't say appealing as far as PewDiePie, but okay.
They are appealing. He can't be this popular and not have some sort of charismatic appeal to him.
He has a great
there's always
personality.
gonna be that individual preference for sure. I don't like PewDiePie to begin with. Period. I acknowledge that he's a very charismatic person, but it's still along those lines that the internet really isn't bringing anything new to the situation. It's just making it a lot easier. And what Spectre was asking me is, I guess the easiest way I can answer is it disturbs me a lot of the things because
Wait a minute,
I
are you
am-
now answering the question I asked like 20 minutes ago?
If that's the type of way.
Is like now sitting there thinking on it, it's not that this issue is what disturbs me. It's the fact that the people in general are the more disturbing thing on that. That we all know the problems very easily, but rather than sit back and think on them and actually ask ourselves that, we don't care. It's instant gratification that we need in whatever aspect about it.
so before we move on, what would America have to do to reverse what's going on right now? Or is it even possible to reverse it?
I don't think
Limit
it
the
is.
internet.
No, there's no way that you can do that, and there's no way that they should do that.
Well, there is one way.
By passing and voting on the new Spectre.
No, they just do a campaign. Remember how they was doing a campaign to get people to stop smoking cigarettes?
Mhm.
It didn't completely wipe out smokers, but it did a good number with the Truth campaign.
Are you serious right now? Because I will argue the both of you to the teeth on this. That campaign did nothing. It made
Oh, I wasn't talking about the Truth campaign. I mean, there was what's that thing that we were talking about earlier? This was about the whole majorities of the networks, AT&T, Comcast, and all those people. They want to
Net neutrality.
net neutrality.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was looking for.
That shit.
so
that
thi-
is
what
how
you
I can
guys
see-
are talking about are having a government-sanctioned
completely-
entity.
No, I'm not talking about
It would
that.
be.
This is
No.
more like monopolizing.
A campaign is like a, what do you call it? That's a free. Damn it! Not a fucking word is slipping me. A non-profit organization.
Yeah, who would run them and who would regulate them?
They don't have to be regulated. Or a
Yes,
non-profit
do.
organization.
They would have to be regulated in some way, form. That's the problem a lot of people don't realize is if you're going to try to restrict something, that means you're basically having a group or
You're not
entity.
restricting. You're raising awareness. That's two different things.
No, not the way you said that. You were saying campaigning and all that stuff. Now you're saying
Yeah,
raising
is
awareness.
Truth restricting smokers? No, it's raising awareness about what it does to your lungs.
No, they're slander campaigning a lot of tobacco to shock treat you into not smoking.
It's still raising
Which,
awareness.
which
Let's
isn't
get back to
really,
the subject.
it's not really restricting though.
It's not
It's
restricting
still raising awareness.
Because they couldn't. We
Exactly.
learned that you can't do it with prohibition. We learned that. the
So what can
hard
we do that with you? I mean, with the internet.
make it just more socially okay and more, and a lot of people are campaigns are
That's
trying
the
to
thing.
raise
Yeah,
Or
no, it
charge
is
people for
really
it. Or charge people for it. Fuck it, $2.99 a month. YouTube.
No, that's
Much.
not gonna do anything.
No,
I think at the end of the day, you can't really. It's not something you can really police. It's just one of those things where when the internet comes about, just like it's a new form of media, new form of awareness and knowledge that we as a species are gonna have to learn to adapt to change and accept. I mean, we can't really get rid of it. The internet's not going anywhere no time soon. People's level of using technology isn't going to change. It's only going to get worse. So it's going to have to. People are going to have new psychoses and new ways of thinking about using technology in their day-to-day life. And half the time, when people use technology, is because life is already hard as shit. And the moment you can take anything in life and make it easy and simple, hell, why not use it? I mean, even if you say, "Oh yeah, well, that's wrong. You're never gonna use that. It's gonna suck," or that ain't the right way to do it. But if it's easy and simple and it gets me what I want quicker, everybody's gonna do it regardless. So it's not gonna change anytime soon. It's just we have to learn how to deal with it.
My only point input on this is the only way to not reverse it, but to hinder it a little bit, is for the next generation. Raise your kids
Yeah.
the way you think they should be raised. Put down the fucking cell phone when it comes to your family. You know what I mean? When it comes to computers and internet, the problem that we have the most, when you want real human interaction from someone else, you have to have that at home. If you don't have human interaction with your own family, how can you expect your family to go out there and interact with other people around the world? You know what I mean? Or outside in the community. For instance, if a dad or a mom or whatever comes home, but all they do is watch TV. They don't interact with their kids. They don't read to their kids. They don't do anything with their kids.
Yeah, TV's raising you. TV's raising your kids, not you.
Exactly. How do you expect your kids to start? What do you expect them to do when they get out in the real world? What they're going to rely on what they've been relying on since they were born. They were going to watch more TV. They're going to play more video games. They're going to be on social media. They're going to not interact with other people. They don't know. You have to teach that at home. You have to teach human interaction at home with your kids. And that's the only way that I know that would actually hinder it from actually taking over. You know what I mean? In this day and age.
Yeah.
But we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next one, and like the next one is the top movie genre picks, and I guess we're gonna stick with the tech-based theme. So it could be any tech-based movie. It doesn't matter.
Oh, the post-apocalyptic technology takes over the world. What's your favorite post-apocalyptic movie where robots or some form of technology or form of AI took over the world?
Terminator Salvation.
There we go. I knew that was coming up. Anybody else?
Well, kind of on the flip side, I want to see that new Mad Max on, how it crumbled and trying to pick that back up. I'd like to see how that one would play out because I used to like Mad Max.
That's cool. Mad Max, Terminator. Next.
Denonu?
I've seen a lot of tech-based movies.
I know.
It's hard to pick
This is the easiest
pick
one.
one on top.
The last one
I would have said Terminator, but you guys already said Terminator, so I know that new Johnny Depp movie was pretty good. I like that.
Transcendence.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it
Really?
is.
Thank you. I was
Really?
looking for that title. I did mention that earlier today.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I didn't like the way it ended, but I do like how
The
that
concept
movie was. Yeah.
The concept was damn good, especially with the nanobots being in the rain and the water or whatever. That's how I actually got
So, JD, what's your title?
Well, I don't really know. Like, I don't want to just say Matrix because that's like everybody knows that. But
But why not?
technology. Everybody's going to be keen onto because they like to see their fears come to life. Technology is a scary thing. So no matter what technology movie you mention, unless it's like some fucking B movie.
you know what? No, I kind of want to say Surrogate. Surrogate was pretty cool. I mean, it's not post-apocalyptic. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It's not that, but it's like it's in between. There's one group that is like that, but then there's this other group that's separated. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the naturalists.
Yeah. I actually, the movie's okay. It's not the best fucking movie that
Yeah, it's a cool concept because it's a new spin on that.
Yeah, but it's an okay movie. Like I like the idea of where it was going with it.
All right, I'm gonna go with the Keanu Reeves movie. It's an old one from the '90s, but it kind of plays in with the Matrix and all that. It's called Johnny.
Johnny Mnemonic.
Oh, yeah.
What
Yeah.
man, wow. Let him finish.
No, they had the word I was trying to say, mnemonic or something like that.
Mnemonic.
Yeah, you're right.
What is it?
Mnemonic. Johnny Mnemonic.
Johnny Mnemonic?
It starts with an M. I'll type it in.
Yeah, that was the movie. They were trying to make
Revolutionary.
the movie of the book written by the guy who, one of the guys who started the whole cyberpunk genre in the 80s.
Oh.
And
And
a good honorable,
Wow.
But-
That's
The M is
a weird-ass
silent.
word. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and a good honorable mention, Blade Runner.
Oh, of course.
Oh,
Of
yeah.
Blade
course.
Runner.
The grandfather of
Yeah.
cyberpunk.
Well, no, the grandfather would be what is that? The one with the female robot? Like the old black and white movie.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. I forget
Twilight
the name
Zone?
of it.
No.
No. God dang it. Rosie from the Jetsons was inspired by that
Oh!
robot,
Yeah.
but she was a slimmer version of it. Well, the original was slimmer. I'm trying to remember the name of it.
Okay, well, whenever y'all remember it, I'll put a link in the
Yeah.
description.
All right, so the versus scenario.
Yep, Master
Weird.
Chief versus
Prophets?
From Crisis.
Profit from Crisis.
Yep.
Yes.
What does that have to do with our technology? Okay, no, but that's good. I see it.
Wow.
Did you really say that?
Log the fuck off.
What does it have to do with technology?
Well,
I-
let's see
you know,
here. We got
oh,
super
the
augmented
technology-
soldiers and augmented suits.
Or
Mm.
heuristic technology of. I see it now.
Okay.
Yeah, slap yourself and log off.
So honestly,
With
my
that big ass Jax pimp robot.
bet would be on the person with the better technology here.
Really?
I'm dead serious.
That's a tough decision.
Not
Uh,
At all.
let's go ahead and say the qualities of each.
It'd be Master Chief.
I'm gonna
Yes.
let Denonu
Master Chief
explain
is like
Prophet,
Okay,
and
yeah,
then
Denonu can explain
JD,
Master Chief is the
and then
obvious-
JD, you explain Master Chief.
Okay.
He's from the far future. He has that technology.
Shut the fuck up.
Wow.
Out of all people to say that,
Really?
really?
Why him? Everybody has been cutting him off like the whole time. But you tell him to shut the fuck up. So, shut the fuck up. You talking too much. Damn. Can we get a word in?
No, it's good. Go ahead. I'm good. Go ahead.
Denonu, go ahead, hit that up, man.
All right. Let me just get this out of the way. What version of Chief are we using?
The
books,
Narration.
games.
Yeah.
I want to say books, not game. And
the game, because that's the one that more people are familiar with.
okay, well, see, he's based off of the books.
Okay.
But see, okay, I'll say like this:
Based off
story mode, like not multiplayer Chief, because that motherfucker's weak as fuck. You can't take a frag and then die.
Okay.
That doesn't make any sense.
Single player campaign, actual Master Chief.
I would say if I had to compare both of them, I would say naturally, without the suits, Chief is going to be stronger, faster, reflexes and all that. I can't really take Prophet out of his suit anymore, but anyway, Chief is going to have the better armor. I mean, he's a fucking walking tank. I mean, he's going to be able to take a lot of damages and shots.
Yeah, didn't that thing like
Mjolnir.
weigh like a ton or something?
Yeah,
it
was
weighed like,
almost a half ton or something like that.
Yeah, it's like to even damage him, you're gonna have to be doing a lot. Prophet, I can't see him doing that unless he has certain equipment. Now, without that equipment, I can't see him doing it. But the armor that the Mjolnir, or the Mjolnir armor in general, in the big armor platings, it is great. Besides plasma and
That and the overshield.
yeah, Prophet ain't throwing plasma no time soon. But in between the armor plating, like the undersheath, the black part, that is weak as hell. I mean, it's not the weakest thing in the world, but you don't have to take high orders in order to damage.
It's more like bulletproof mesh.
Yeah, and it's
Batman.
not even that great at doing that. I remember one of the Spartans died in the books when I want to say like an explosion happened and it punctured the hole in the in the mesh, and he couldn't go back in space because it would kill him. So it's not hard to break that. I think if Prophet can exploit that, he might be able to win. Because Prophet can do a hell of a lot more than people give him credit for.
Right.
So if this was like hand-to-hand combat, Prophet has speed. Master Chief has reaction time. Both of them can.
Too.
Both of them can like slow down time almost. To the point where they can actually look at what they're doing and determine what they're going to do before they do it. I think that Prophet may have an actual like quicker reaction time than Chief because of the suit.
Yeah.
This is where it's not fair though to Prophet. The more extreme he uses the suit, the more wear it's on his body. He's not superhuman. He's not augmented. He's a normal Navy SEAL. So what gives Master Chief the advantage is he has that biological augments to him.
Yeah.
He's an augmented human being.
Well,
so yeah, sure. If the fight can last about 3 to 4 minutes and Prophet can get his good hits in and win within 3 to 4 minutes, he's not going to win a long run. He's going to burn himself out too much to try and match Master Chief's level.
And the sad part about Master Chief's training is the faction or the military faction that Master Chief belong with is a combination of all military branches combined. Air Force, Marines, all that good shit.
What? No, he was part of the Navy. What the fuck are you talking about?
Isn't it like the U.S. whatever?
No,
whatever
he
it
was
is?
United States, it was like United Nations Space Command.
Yeah.
But like that was the Navy branch though. It started as a Navy.
Yeah, it started as a Navy, but didn't all the other branches form together into that branch as well? The Air Force and all that good shit?
Yeah,
wasn't
but
it like
I still consider it the Navy though.
So all that training comes with that as well. Not just, the
they're
special
both
forces from the
soldiers.
Navy side, but special forces from the Marines and Army and Air Force side.
Yeah,
So
training wise,
Share
I
the
think.
same training.
Yeah, I think
they both
training
got
wise, they're going to be good. Where it differs is what version of Prophet are we using? Are we using Prophet from Crisis 1? Or are we doing post-transhuman entity, Crisis 3 Prophet? Because that's a whole
That would
other
be the
thing.
only one that could keep up. That would be almost the only one that could keep up
Yeah.
with Master Chief at this point.
Yeah, regular Prophet is just the guy in the suit. But you take the guy from at the end of Crisis 3, he's manipulating his body and his molecular structure. Where
Okay,
he's
let's say
damn
like
near
this.
more machine than man.
Let's say it like this. This is Halo 3 Master Chief, right? Versus Crisis 2 Prophet. This is not where he's already that ascended part, and he's not just a guy in a suit anymore. He's in the middle.
Okay.
Like, this is where he's like losing himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that
I
would be
still
a
give it
pretty
to
even
Master
fight.
Chief.
I'm sorry.
I'd give it to Master Chief when it comes to armor and defense. However, I
Yeah.
wouldn't give it to him according to weapons. The weapons that they use in Halo, we've surpassed now. and Prophet, at least in Crisis 2, has tons of shit to where he can use to exploit that, and if so, let's say damage the Mjolnir a lot.
Right.
Maybe
But
he
one of the
can't
other-
wipe him out, based on the energy shields, but he has better ballistic weaponry than Chief does in his time in the future.
that is true.
And then you have to think about it too. Master Chief was very good at using other people's technology.
Yeah.
That was one of the main tropes in
One of the main
Halo.
things with Master Chief is he's a tactical genius.
he's a soldier, but he was also a very adept what's the word, tactician. So
Like Nick Fury. and
Here's the
Captain
thing, though.
America.
The suit is a supercomputer.
Yeah.
Think about quantum computing in that suit. You know what I
Well-
mean? The suit can actually give him information. And I hate that I'm like having to do this because I'm a Master Chief fan, but the suit can actually calculate tactical abilities into his brain and actually react at the speed of like light. You know what I mean? So
but
when
so
you-
can Cortana.
Yeah, but Master Chief naturally has it on his own. He's
but see, Cortana isn't right into his brain like the suit
know.
is.
Master Chief himself. He's a great tactician.
And
But
he
Master
probably
Chief
Out of the
takes
suit
had,
itself,
augmented
Doesn't
intelligence.
Master Chief take the decision to either listen to Cortana or not?
Yeah, he
Well,
can.
right.
He can not listen to her. All she does is like offer suggestions.
Yeah.
Look, she can pinpoint stuff too. It's like having someone pay attention to the fight and be in your ring. It's like having your
So she's Tom.
But I think the difference between them, though, is Cortana can tell Chief, hey, look, here's this thing over there, right? Chief has the ability to understand it and process it and actually choose to pick it up or not. Prophet, on the other hand, that's all instantaneous. There is no decision making in that slowing things up.
Instinctive.
It's
Yeah,
just there. Because what one thing that the suit does, it eliminates those decisions to choose in order to get this or choose to get that. Which one would be the best option? It'll calculate that and then make you do it. There's
But
no
see, this-
choice
this
there.
thing that makes him so
So
different.
Chief could dupe him with that.
Yeah, that's a statistical thing. The
Yeah.
suit will look at it, take in all the variables, and pick the best outcome. Whereas Chief actually has a tactician mindset and someone in his corner as well. It's two people in one fight, basically. He's fought advanced machines that can pretty much do the same thing that Prophet can and beat them.
Well, let's say it like this. This isn't just a one-sided fight where you know which one is going to win automatically, like off the bat. This can go back and forth. So this is pretty much why we have this as a scenario. So the fans, the viewers can actually determine from what we say who's going to actually like come out on top.
Yeah, as long as they
Who
choose
voted for
myself.
Prophet so far?
I still think Prophet might do it. I mean, he's more versatile
I
than
would
Chief
vote
is.
for Prophet,
It'd
honestly.
be
I did
close
want to
and
vote
interesting to
Prophet.
see.
See, I'm the only guy there's two for Master Chief, there's two for Prophet, but I'm kind of in the middle. You know what I mean? This is one of those things that one slip up and that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And everyone knows not every fight is perfect. Somebody's gonna make a mistake.
Cue music and explosions. Yeah.
Pretty much. So y'all.
Just real fast, Metropolis. That was the movie.
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
Okay,
yes, from
that's
the
great.
1914, I believe it was. Like really, 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 really old movie.
All right.
1927.
So
27, excuse me. 10 years off.
that's pretty much the end of the PSH podcast number. What I say? 4?
This is 3. No, this
No,
Yes.
it's 4. It's
Four, yeah.
Man, if I fucked up
And
in
it
the
did
beginning
take
and I
4
said 4,
takes.
I think
And
I
it-
fucked up in the beginning. I said 3. This is podcast number 4. Anyway,
And it took 4 takes to get it right.
yeah. But I still fucked up and said 3.
Wait, are we really counting the first one we did?
Yeah,
Log the fuck off.
yeah. Anyway, so if y'all like this podcast, go ahead and
You know
leave a
what,
like, subscribe to the channel, join the conversation. What do you think that who's gonna be the winner out of this scenario? Leave that in the comments below. And if you have any topics for us to talk about, let us know also in the comments below. We will catch you guys later. I'm your homie Jolly Dangerous.
I'm your
I'm your boy, Ren.
Hector.
Peace out,
I'm
people.
the white guy.
Yeah, all right. Peace out, y'all.
He
Later.
saved it for the end.